This section deals with an important topic in GST, which is reverse charge mechanism. So since you have reached at this point in your course where you have learned how to pass some GST transactions, you might have done some research from your side as well, and you might have come across concepts like reverse charge mechanism. And I really appreciate if you are exploring about Tally on your own, because sometimes there may be few things which I might have missed out. But nevertheless, if you have not heard about RCM, then we are going to discuss about both the theory part and the practical part in Tally. Alright, so now let me explain what reverse charge mechanism is. But before understanding reverse charge mechanism, let's understand how GST works in usual scenario. Usually, when a buyer buys goods, what he does is he makes the payment to the supplier, and the payment consists of two components. So one is the taxable amount and another is the GST component. And what supplier does is he deposits the GST with the government. So this process is referred as forward charge mechanism. So you can read over here. Normally, supplier receives tax from the recipient of goods or services and deposits the same GST to the government. But in case of reverse charge mechanism, the recipient pays the invoice amount without GST component to the supplier, and what he does is he requires to deposit the GST from his end. So in reverse charge mechanism, the buyer is required to deposit the GST with the government. So far, the transactions that we learned in Tally were falling under forward charge mechanism. But there are certain rules defined by the GST Council which requires the buyer to deposit the GST under reverse charge mechanism. So what are the cases where reverse charge mechanism applies? There are two cases where RCM is applicable, and those cases are defined under the subsection 3 of section 9 and subsection 4 of section 9 of CGST Act. And what you are viewing on your screen is a compilation of rules which are defined in the respective sections. And let me now provide you with the overview of what each section contains. So the subsection 3 of section 9 tells that there are certain specific goods and services whose trade by default falls under RCM. So what are the items and services which falls under reverse charge mechanism? So the GST Council has specified a list of items, few of which are cashew nuts, BD wrappers and used vehicles, and alongside there are other items which falls under reverse charge mechanism. And if we talk about services, then services like transportation by goods transport agency GTA, or services from an advocate, and many other services which are listed by the council, trading of those goods and services falls under reverse charge mechanism. Now, irrespective of supplier is registered under GST or not, whenever you buy the specified goods or whenever you avail those specific services, then tax must be paid under reverse charge mechanism. And any kind of imports from other countries requires the buyer to pay GST under reverse charge. So these are the cases defined under subsection 3 of section 9 where reverse charge mechanism would apply. Now let's talk about subsection 4 of section 9 of CGST Act and its cases for reverse charge mechanism. So according to this section, reverse charge mechanism is applicable when you buy goods from an unregistered dealer, and the goods that you purchase, if it is notified by the government that on these goods reverse charge mechanism would apply, only then reverse charge mechanism would apply on that transaction. And not just the notified goods and services, the GST Council would also be specifying class of registered person who are liable to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. And the goods and services on which reverse charge mechanism would be applicable when you buy them from the unregistered dealer is yet to be notified by the council, and who all registered persons are required to pay under RCM is also yet to be notified by the council. So unless the council decides upon what goods and services when purchased from an unregistered dealer falls under reverse charge mechanism, and who all registered buyers are required to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism is decided, RCM under purchase from unregistered dealer would not be applicable. So at the time of making this course, neither the class of buyers nor the list of specified goods has been declared by the council. So what it means is that RCM would not be applicable whenever you buy goods from an unregistered dealer. But if you purchase goods like cashew nuts, BD wrappers or used vehicles, then reverse charge mechanism would be applicable. And the suspension for RCM under purchase from unregistered dealer is effective up to the end of September 2019. So I recommend you to keep a tab on changes with regard to reverse charge mechanism, and by the time you view this lecture there may be new changes defined by the council, and at the end of the day I would recommend you to take advice from your chartered accountant or a legal advisor, because most probably those are the people who would have first-hand information about changes in GST and various legal aspects regarding the GST. Alright, so these were few things that you were required to know regarding cases for reverse charge mechanism. In the next video, we will look at the practical aspect with regard to reverse charge mechanism in Tally, where I will show you how to record an entry when you buy goods from an unregistered dealer, and I will also show you how to record entry for services like transportation by GTA, and transactions like transportation by a GTA are recurring transactions in your day-to-day business activity. Therefore, it is very necessary to know about passing entries related to GTA in Tally.